Oh man, it's the grab bag!
If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I do a lot of silly voices. I've been doing voice acting for years as an amateur, and I've had a lot of fun, but where did it all begin? Where did I first start doing all these different voices? Well, to be honest, it started with Transformers Beast Wars with a character called Waspinator.
Because Waspinator rules!
And I would mimic the voices I heard on TV as best I could, some of which are certainly better than others. I mean, I try to do Krang, but Krang's isn't perfect.
Turtles, you are my least favorite.
When I was younger, watched a documentary that had the different voice actors, and when I watched the voice actor for Krang, it was all moving his face around and making different faces to pull out the sounds and the weirdness of his voice. And I started trying to mimic that. It's not perfect, but I think it's pretty decent.
With a teacher's precious. Good.
Yeah, Gollum was pretty similar to do like Waspinator is. Similar way to move your muscles in your throat around. Another character who's very similar.
Hey guys, it's me, Rob. You have to put your voice in this little spot where you have to have it dingling in the back of your throat in order to make it sound like this. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit close to what I was trying to go for.
The Dr. Mafuzbu voice I do is actually an impression of a voice from the Venture Brothers, a certain character named Number 24.
Oh my gosh, this is where that voice came from? Unbelievable! This voice is something I had been practicing for a long time because I've been watching the show. And even though number 24 isn't in the entire series, you can see how this voice is. It actually is kind of similar, but a little less stressful than the Reading the Meatwad voice. Actually, I almost turned into Kermit the Frog. That's actually kind of terrible. Anyways, I can't really do this voice forever, but it's actually easier for me to do this one than some of the other ones that I have done in the past.
And of course, that is me, Emperor Palpatine, a voice that is dark and heavy, and you can see how this sounds. Unlimited power. And doing this voice is a little harder, actually.
Sorry, doing that voice for too long in one single bit makes me need to cough.
And this is me, Zorak Suckers. I'm almost the same as Emperor Palpatine, but just slightly different. The same difference. I still have to cough. Hold on.
Doing those deeper voices certainly takes quite a bit more out of me. I can do short little stints with them, but I have to pause because then I cough a whole bunch because it strains my throat to make those kind of voices. And I love them. I mean, my shorts I put up with Star Wars were a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying what I'm currently doing with Brack and Zorak. And I do try to make more voices. I mean, one of the ones that's more recent was when I created Crowman.
Oh, yes, it is I, Crowman, and I talk a little bit like this. I tried to make myself sound like I was a crow a little bit. It's kind of similar to how I came up with Krang, but less over the top. And now you have had what I sound like when I talk for a long time in this voice. And as you notice, I don't have to cough.
Now, Death, he was a character that is a failed impression that became his own thing. Because Death was supposed to be me trying to do The Rock, and I failed. Instead, I just turned into this voice and tried to make myself sound like a tough guy. You gotta understand, sometimes you try to do an accent or you try to do an impression and it fails.
but you can come up with something that works for you, even if it's not what you were looking for.
Rocksteady is kind of like your New York City accent.
Well, you gotta be a tough guy. You gotta understand I am trying my best. I am just doing what I have to do to survive day by day. You make this the voice you're doing, and if you see my face, it actually kind of has this ridiculous thing, so maybe I'll actually record it for a second. Are you ready to see the kinds of faces that I'm making? Oh no, it's a jump scare.
Yeah, when I'm doing any of the voice acting, I usually have very weird and wacky facial expressions, just like that last one you just saw. But I love doing this, and that's why a lot of my stuff on my channel at this point is me doing all this. And I keep trying to learn how to do more voices so I can expand my repertoire. And, you know, if you manage to make it this far into the video, if you are looking for anything in particular with these kinds of voices, I would 100% be willing to record something and send it. My email is attached here. I'll put it in the description. So if you are interested in hiring somebody to do some voices, I'm 100% willing to do that. I like money. Wink, wink. I need to get paid. Help me reach monetization by subbing. All right. Goodbye.